Hey everybody, Adam here with Hometown Acres. Welcome back. We are down here restocking the roadside stand. It is Labor Day weekend. It's actually Monday, and really kind of kicked off the firewood selling season. We had a bunch of deliveries go out Thursday, Friday. A lot of campgrounds and stuff. Not so much heating wood yet, but a lot of campgrounds. But I did have a quick story I wanted to share with you guys about some theft that we've had here at the roadside stand recently. And it wasn't this weekend, it was actually 4th of July weekend. We were out of town going to my parents' Airbnb for 3 or 4 days. And when we came back, I had the roadside stand fully restocked before we left. And when we came back, there was 4 racks missing and one $10 rack. So there should have been 90 bucks in the money box, right? Now, keep in mind, we've been doing this roadside stand thing for 4 or 5 years. And it's nice additional money. It's going out to eat money or beer money or whatever you want to call it. It's nothing to make a living at. But we have been very fortunate and had very little issues with theft over the last 4 years. Every once in a while, somebody might come down and take a $20 rack and then they're on their way. And if somebody wants to steal the wood, that's one thing. But I had somebody, while we were out of town, get into the money box. So I know that the wood was bought and paid for, but somebody started tampering with the money box and got in there and took us for 90 bucks. Now, again, I'm not gonna cry over 90 bucks. It sucks that really it's just the principle of the thing. You feel violated almost. You know, it's like when somebody breaks into your house or something. If somebody was in your personal space disrespecting your things, and it just doesn't give you a good feeling. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this restocked. I'll show you what they did, and then I'll show you the security measures we're going to take to deal with it going forward. All right, now we got the roadside stand all restocked. I still need to bring another kindling bundle down here. But like I said, I pulled in after being away for a long 3-day weekend, and there was 4 empty racks along the bottom, one $10 rack missing on top. And I'm like, sweet, you know, 90 bucks passive income. I didn't even have to be here to collect it, right? Well, as soon as I came down here to restock the stand, I knew something was immediately wrong when I came over here and looked at the money box. There's this tip down lid here that keeps this weatherproof. And this is nothing more than a mailbox from over at Home Depot. Just enough, it's got a lock on it, but it's very thin gauge metal. It's just enough to keep honest people honest, but it would be very easy to break into if somebody was determined enough. And that's exactly what happened. I don't know if you can tell. I've bent it back, but you can see there was a crease here and a crease here, and the lock still kept the lid closed, but because this is such thin gauge metal, they pried up this side and pried up that side there. And yeah, it was just very disheartening to come home and think that I had, you know, close to 100 bucks sitting here that, you know, was gonna pay for us to go out to eat with the family, and it was just gone. And again, if somebody had come down here and just taken the wood and the money box wasn't tampered with, that is one thing. But once that transaction has taken place where you've converted the product into cash and then somebody steals the cash, it just really, really rubs you the wrong way. Now, I'm not so naive as to think that we would never run into problems with theft here. Like I said, we've been very fortunate to not have any, but it is just a cost of doing business. There are entire departments in corporate America dedicated towards shrinkage. And no, I'm not talking about George Costanza from Seinfeld. Inventory has a natural way of shrinking, from trucks being delivered, things being damaged, shoplifting, things being stolen. If you send $100,000 worth of goods out the door to a retail location, the chances are that you're going to get $100,000 back are slim to none. But there are things that we can do to reduce that, and that's what I wanted to show you what we're going to do down here today. The one thing that I did at first was I installed a motion sensor down here, like a driveway alarm, that would alert me if somebody was down here in the stand. Now, I'm not going to show you where that motion sensor is because I'd give away all my secrets. That works to an extent. It lets me know when people are down here. I can see the roadside stand from the house, but somebody could come down here, pull up with their truck, take the wood, and be on their way. And I knew they were down here, but I still had no idea whether they paid or not. And one issue that I ran into with that situation is, you know, most of the time we'll get people here Friday night between 4 and 7 o'clock at night. They're coming to get wood on their way home from work, and they're going to take it home and have a campfire. Well, what was starting to happen is I noticed there were some people that were pulling in at 11 o'clock, midnight, 1 in the morning, and the alarm was going on. And what am I going to do? Am I going to come down here? It's supposed to be a self-serve firewood stand, right? I don't want to be bothering people if they're coming down here and paying for wood. And then, of course, the ones that are coming from midnight to 2 in the morning, those are the ones that are loading up their truck, helping themselves, and getting out of here. So the driveway alarm did help to an extent, but it still wasn't curbing any theft problems that we were having. So we've added a new security measure. Let me show you what that is. So we installed a security camera down here on this telephone pole. This is a Reolink Track Mix. It's a 4K camera with a SIM card in it that has a cell phone data plan on it, because as you can tell, we are a good distance away from the house down here, so Wi-Fi was not going to be an option. So I am paying for a data plan on this. But other than that, it is a pretty well self-contained unit. You can see it's got a little solar panel up there, so I never have to recharge it. It stays 100% charged all the time. And like I said, it's got its own data plan, so I can hop onto the camera at any point in time that I want to and check to see what's going on down here. It's got night vision.
It has an auto tracking feature that helps keeps the subject in frame for a much longer period of time and helps reduce the blind spots of typical security cameras.
You know, I've placed this up high enough that tampering with it is a challenge. Again, if you really want to do something to it, you could, but just from standing here on the ground, I can't reach it. So again, it's meant to keep honest people honest. However, because it does have a cell phone plan, all of the footage goes immediately to my phone. So the second I get you on camera, even if you destroy it, I've already got it stored off site. And so that's what I really like about this system, is now I can keep an eye on people and check to see who's paying, who's not. If somebody down here is tampering with the money box, if I get their license plate or their face or anything on camera, we'll be all set. So we put this security camera out about a month ago, and since that time we haven't had any issues with theft. It's kind of like buying a snowblower in the fall, right? You think you're going to get a big bad winter, and then you go out and buy a snowblower, and then you don't get an inch of snow all winter long. Same thing with the security camera. I don't know if that is a deterrent, if people even see that it's there. It's not hidden at all. It's in plain sight, so you pull in, you can see that you're probably on camera. I should put a sign down here that says "Smile, you're on camera." I think that would help as well. Yeah, since we put it up, not an issue down here at the roadside stand. So if any of you guys have roadside firewood stands or roadside vegetable stands, or you sell chicken eggs or anything like that on the honor system like we do here, and if you've had any issues with theft, this would be a great option. Now, if I do catch somebody stealing, let me put it this way. If I catch somebody stealing wood, it is what it is. I'm not going to get too bent out of shape about it. But the second I see somebody tampering with the money box again, that is going to be, I'm going to try to nail somebody to the wall. We're going to go to the police, and we're going to make a big deal out of it, because I want somebody to realize that $20, $40, $80 out of this money box is not worth dealing with the law. Oh yeah, one thing I forgot to mention about all of this is, so when I first got home and I saw that 4 racks missing, one $10 rack missing, and the money box was tampered with, I was pretty disheartened by the whole thing, so I didn't even bother restocking the stand. I just left it kind of empty. So we got back on a Monday, and I left the stand unstocked. There were still a couple racks in here, but they actually came back again the following Wednesday. So I had come down here, and like I said, I bent all of this back, and then Thursday morning I came out here and this was all bent up again. And the thing that irritates me is they bent up one side, and then you could clearly see that there was no money in there, and then they still bent up the other side as well. So at that point, now they're just vandalizing my stuff. They're not even stealing, they're vandalizing as well. So you know, it's an irritating thing to have to come down here and make repairs on the stand. And so if we have any more issues down here, I want to teach somebody a hard lesson and make them think twice about coming down here and vandalizing other people's personal property or stealing from them. Anyway, enough about that. On to a happier topic. I want to give you guys a 4-day update on the kiln. It has been working awesome. We did get a couple of really good suggestions in the last video. One was that I should have put a vapor barrier down underneath the rock. And I agree, I probably am getting a lot of ground moisture up here, including the moisture from the wood. So I think when this load is done in here, I'm going to pull the tarp out, peel all of the gravel back, and put a vapor barrier down, and then put it all back the way that it is. I'm not going to do it now because I don't want to have to move everything twice. But when we're ready to do a change on the kiln, we'll go ahead and take care of that. but I wanted to give you an update on what we've been finding so far, because when we first put this up, I wasn't really sure how often I would need to be venting. We installed this exhaust fan on the back here, and the first day or two I would run it for half an hour, 45 minutes, thinking I would just do a swap of the air that was in there. And what I have found is that basically once the kiln gets up over 100 degrees or so, I just let that exhaust fan run from like noon until 4 every day. And if I look at my app here that I have for my humidistat and thermostat that's in there, right now the temperature inside the kiln is about 103, but it's cloudy right now. And if I look at my chart here, we've actually, even with the exhaust vent running, so I kicked it on at right about 12:15, so I don't know if you guys can see that, but the temperature went from 110 down to 95. And then even with the exhaust fan on, when the sun comes out, it still gets plenty hot in there. It got back up to 110, then clouds came out, dropped back down, and then it got back up to 121 degrees. Now today it's about 75, 76 out. So to get 121 degrees inside the kiln with the exhaust vent running is pretty good. I did add an extra solar panel down here, and with 3 of these running now, we've actually been able to add to our battery bank. I think when we first put it in, the battery was at like 60%, and over the last 4 days we're adding, let's see here, yeah, we're up to 85%. So we're adding anywhere from 5 to 10% a day of power. So this thing is doing a good job, and the solar panels are doing a good job of making sure we have plenty of power to run everything. And what I wanted to show you, we'll get inside the kiln here in a second. When we first put it up and we weren't venting it nearly as often, we had all kinds of condensation on the inside of the kiln. By the way, a lot of people also said I needed to cut something on this side to allow basically a positive air return. Well, this thing has windows on the side of it, so I've got one on this side and I've got one on this side as well. So that's where my fresh air intake is going into the kiln. But since we've started venting it for 3 or 4 hours every single day, that has drastically decreased the amount of condensation that we have in here. So what I've noticed is the walls are completely dry now. We still have very slight condensation up on top, but when I wasn't venting it, the whole thing, we had condensation on every wall, every bit of plastic in here. Now it's kind of isolated to like here to here, but everything else is dry. So we're getting a much drier humidity level in here. I think right now it's reading about 40% humidity in here. And so I'm not sure how much longer this wood's gonna take. It's only been 4 days right now, so I don't envision it's gonna be ready anytime soon, but we'll keep checking it. I did test the same piece that we split when we put it in here that was 39% moisture content inside the wood. I checked it the other day, it was about 26, 27%, but I didn't split it open or anything like that. That was just surface moisture that it had lost. Another suggestion that a lot of people were leaving that I think would be a good idea in theory, but in practice is not gonna work, is to put a dehumidifier in there. And the reason that I don't think it's gonna work is, in talking with Matt, who has extensive experience in kiln drying firewood, he said the moisture that comes out of firewood is highly acidic. And he said it's just gonna burn up a dehumidifier in no time. So I don't know as though it's worth it. As long as we're venting it and on a good hot sunny day, we're still able to get 120 degrees in there and get the humidity level down. I don't see the need to be burning up dehumidifiers. Plus that would add to how much power we're pulling from the battery banks. Then I don't know if our solar panels would be able to keep up. So a dehumidifier is a good idea to extract that humidity and just, you know, have it drain right outside the tent. But I don't think it's gonna be something we're gonna do. Anyways, guys, that is an update on the roadside firewood stand and the little bit of theft issues we've been having. Overall, we have had very little issues. 99% of the people that come through there, they take their wood, they pay for it. One small little hiccup we had, and now we got a security camera down there, so hopefully won't have any further issues. There's your update on the solar firewood kiln. And yeah, firewood selling season is upon us. So all of you firewood producers out there, I hope you guys have a good season. Good luck. Hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, give me a big thumbs up, click that subscribe button, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.